Okay. And I'll start from 10. And once you guys can, just jump in and say the same number until we hit 0. Okay? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
Go. 0. Okay. Alright. So, there we go, Sync. So welcome to episode 9 of the podcast. Title pending. This is a special situation because we're on a more pressed time budget than usual. Emmy and Asham, Emmy who's not here yet, and Asham who's here, have obligations at 4. Alex is pressed because he has to go to the bathroom. So we are scrambling for time. We're in the dire need of time, but Emmy, whose internet blew up, has to buy a new modem, and she'll join in once she's done with that. But we don't know how long that's going to take. So right now it's just me, it's Alex.
Hey.
And it's Asham.
Hello.
And we'll just get it going from there. And then Alex will jump out whenever he can, get to the bathroom, and then come back in. Super subtly, I imagine.
I'll try my best.
Alright, so what do you guys want to jump into? Anything you guys have to say?
I do.
Anything that's dying?
It's big
Alright.
news.
Alright, big news.
Big
Let's
news.
hear it.
At least for me. Not for you guys, but for me. Anyways. So I told
Thanks.
Emmy this. But I'm really into, well, not really into, but like I listen to a lot of K-pop. And so a couple.
Now, for the viewers, explain what K-pop
Okay,
is.
K-pop is basically Korean pop music, and like it's really big internationally. And so one of the biggest groups who the big news is about is BTS. And for those who don't know BTS is a K-pop boy band. Yeah. So
Alright.
the big news about them is that a lot of their music and like a lot of their art is focused on like the like a universe on their about them. And so recently Big Hit Entertainment, which is their basically owners of their group, they partnered up with Naver and I want to say Line Webtoon, but I think Naver owns Line Webtoon. Anyways, partnered up with them, and then 3 days ago, they released a webtoon based on the BTS universe. And so I started reading it because they released 4 chapters, and it's really good because so far it's a little bit of a spoiler, but so beware. But it centers around the members and each of them going through like a different situation in their life that ends up leading to either their death or them ending up in jail. And so one of the members,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure his name, he ends up being the one kind of in charge of trying to fix everything, because there's a specific date where I think he sees all of them, or if not most of them. And so if he had done something during that day, he would have stopped all the events that had happened. And so in the beginning, he ends up trying to find this one dude he saw at the gas station. And so he ends up finding out he's in jail, and then he finds out what happened to the rest of the members. And so he's like, oh no, I could have done something. And so he makes like a wish, and that wish is that like he wants to change the way things ended up. And so he ends up waking up on that same day, but I think he doesn't do anything the first, I don't know, 5, 6 times, and so he's kind of confused about like what's going on. And so he ends up kind of remembering that he's like, oh, I'm supposed to stop what's going on. And so the story kind of leaves off with him trying to figure out how he's gonna save all his friends and like change the events that led up to different things happening to each of the members. And like it's kind of based off too the theme of like the music videos that BTS has released um over their past few albums. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's actually a lot more in depth when he said that they were gonna make a webtoon for this band. That was a lot more in depth than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it'd be like a cross promotional thing with like really shallow story. Didn't expect all the death. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no, it's
When you said that they were making comics about them, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna like live happy lives, and you're like, no, they all die or they hate themselves or something.
no,
And I'm
well,
just
a
like,
lot
what?
of their music is centered on like mental health and stuff. So I'm not surprised that like it's as dark as it got. And so I think it's pretty cool. And like how it's kind of supposed to clarify the meaning of each of the music videos that has a lot of people confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because their music videos are pretty confusing, unless you like take the time to super analyze the details.
Ah. So I guess follow up. How long have you been following BTS?
Not too long, like 3 months ago.
Oh, okay. I mean, the reason I ask is because, like, as far as I know, like, obviously they must. I've heard that they're very big in the K-pop market, but it seems like over the last few years they've been getting big just in the global market. Because, like, I've seen them on, like, Western talk shows, and like they've been doing promotional stuff with like giant Western athletes and stars. So, like, I imagine they're getting very big just beyond like the K-pop market itself. I mean, I don't know how.
they've become really global and really big, and I think I think their true like blow up was during one of the music awards. I forgot what music award it was because I don't follow music awards. I don't care, but I know that like they ended up beating Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber had been winning that award for like 3 or 4 years consecutively, and then that year he lost to BTS. And like that was a big
Damn.
deal because like I know a lot of people don't like Justin Bieber, but like he does have like a really big following and like a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
preteen fans. And so for him to lose to like a Korean K-pop band, well, that's a big deal.
oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, and then they also appeared on like the Ellen show and something else. I'm not too sure.
I think they were on Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon because I feel like that's where I saw them first in like on a Western market appeal at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they appeared on Jimmy Fallon's show after they appeared on Ellen's show. I'm not too sure. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but yeah, they're really big, and like they have a really big fan base. Like I know they ended up doing a performance in Oakland. I think it was last year in the summer, and a lot of their fans started lining up like 2-3 days early or something. Maybe
Jesus
maybe
Christ.
2 days early, and like their tickets were sold for like a lot, like $1,000.
What the? Oh my God, that's. You're talking about like the best seats, right? You're not talking about like just the lowest denominator seats, right?
It might be the lowest denominator. I'm not too sure because like their
Really?
their tickets sell out really fast.
Damn, but I mean $1,000, like that's a lot of money. But all right, interesting. I will say my background in K-pop is I think in high school I listened to one song by Girls' Generation and one song by SNSD, or if you're like me, you call it Sneezed. But Alex, what's your K-pop background? Why don't you enlighten us?
Actually, I'm not really sure. I think the only song that I know is from. It's called Rainism, or the guy's called Rainism. I'm not sure.
Asham, can you?
I don't
Confirm or
know
deny
what he's
this?
talking about.
I've
Question
seen
So-
I've seen K-pop bands talk about it, so I'm gonna assume that it was popular. But it's really old, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I only recently got into it, so like a lot of the bands I know are like recent, with the exception of Shiny, which is an older band. That's probably the first band I heard, and it's only because like a song ended up popping up on my YouTube feed, and I was like, sure, let's check it out. But it wasn't enough to like really bring me into K-pop, it wasn't until this December when I got really into it with my cousin. But like my knowledge isn't too well. It's pretty low level because like I've been going to KCON LA for the past 2 years,
Oh
and
shit.
so I
Okay.
kind of know what's going on. Not too much, but kind of.
So is there within the K-pop community? Is there like a slang term for you K-pop fans? Like do you guys just call yourself K-pop fans, or is there like a special term like Biebers or like Beliebers? Do you guys have a special term?
Well, it depends. Each group has like yeah, each group has their own like fan name. So like for example, BTS, their fans are called armies, and shoot, that's the only one I can think of because
Well.
that's like
That was a
yeah, they're called
that was
armies.
not what I was expecting. That was a little more on the nose.
And then there's this other group that I'm really into called Dreamcatcher. Um,
I
their
think I've heard of them actually.
their fan group name is Insomniacs.
All right, that one makes. I understand that one more than the
I
army.
think that
one.
name's taken by a game company, but you know what? Whatever.
They're not like it's not like an official name. It's like what they refer to themselves as.
Right, of course.
So-
I think we all here, some more than others, should know all about that being a part of the Sniper Nation, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, each group has their own things. But like the term itself, K-pop fan, is it's a pretty vague thing because like there's this YouTube video I watched and it was like interviewing some of the BTS fans that were out there, and I think it was LAX when they were waiting for BTS to arrive for a concert, and like someone I was interviewing and asking them like, do you refer to yourself as K-pop fans? And they were like, yeah, we're K-pop fans. And they're like, can you name another group beside BTS? And they were like, no. So it's a pretty vague term. It's easier just to like, at least in my opinion, it's easier to just like refer to yourself based on like the group you like the fandom name, the fan name.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. I mean, that seems to happen with a lot of things where there'll be like a spokesperson, so to speak, for that industry, and it'll like bring people in, but people won't know much beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, for basketball, that was what the Warriors were for a lot of people, at least in my generation. I mean, obviously they're not the only ones, but when the Warriors got big, everyone was like, "Yeah, I love basketball. All right, name one other team." You're like, "Oh,
The blue one.
The purple one.
the Blue Sea Knights, East High Wildcats, right? Yeah." No, but speaking of Korean industries that are pretty big, so you mentioned webtoon. Have you read manga, or I guess the term in there Korea is manhwa from Korea?
Oh yeah, I've been reading that since probably like high school. So
Okay, so this is gonna be great because then I can bounce this off you and Alex. I don't know if you would be able to bounce in here too, but feel free to. But I started reading manga like pretty heavily on and off in college, and I obviously didn't realize what manhwa was until much recently. And so I use an app, so the way they organize and like put things at the front is obviously going to be targeted. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there seems to be, and again, I'm not making any judgments on the industry, and obviously an industry is very versatile, and a lot of different genres and ideas come in, and it's not fair to judge one entire industry based off a few types of works. But that was my preface. It seems like there's a lot of manhwa based, and usually in the romance genre, that have a strong inclination to bring up and focus on rape and like that kind of like a lot of them have to deal with rape. Now I don't know if that's like just because like there's a lot of that work because the industry's so big, or is that just a common thing in like romance type manhwas? Can you confirm or deny? Because I saw like a lot, and I was like, there's a lot more rape in these than like anything else. Like, it seems like at least every one I read was like there was one character at least who was like, and I'm not talking like, oh like lighthearted, like you can kind of get away with it. Like I'm saying like super rapey, like oh I'm gonna knock her out and then like rape her.
Whoa,
So
I don't know
confirm or
what you've
deny.
been reading, but like those aren't
I
the.
just okay. The problem is like I don't search them, so like I get somehow they get filtered, and like I just see a bunch that seem to be like always on the app say like, oh, this is what's super hot right now. This is what's mostly read, and I'm like, why is this mostly read? This is so rapey.
Oh my,
But
yeah, no. I see what I use is I don't use like the manga apps anymore. Like you're probably using like what? What do you read it from? What platform?
uh, Manga Rock.
I see. I don't use that anymore. I've gotten really into webtoons, so like I just read webtoons now. So I use like web comics or well, I'm just gonna use web comics right now, but there's another one I use, and like I'll talk about it later. But like webtoons, it has more like lighthearted webtoons that are also really really popular, and
Hmm.
some of them have even turned into either K dramas or they've made like small animations, but animations aren't really their thing in
Okay.
Korea.
Well, so just to clarify, because and this kind of ties into why I haven't used Webtoons in the past. But isn't Webtoons like it's a platform? But don't they to be on Webtoons you have to use like their like art editor or whatever? Like, isn't it like, or can you make your own work and just put it on Webtoons?
I have no clue. I just read it.
Okay.
I would assume like you could make your own work and put it up there, but I'm not too sure. But
Okay.
anyways, going back to like the webtoons that you're talking about, like those might not be like the most popular that are going on in like South Korea, but they might just end up like getting like a bit popular and then like they want to push it out there.
Okay, that's what I thought because I was like, there's no way this is like what defines the industry. I was like, there's
Yeah,
no way.
I don't
But
think it does. Like I've read some of them and I'm like, why? Why are you out here? But like there's another platform I read too and it's webtoons. And like the ones that have gotten like I guess also popular too. They're like a bit rapey and like the main character ends up being with the guy that like yeah, raped her or whatever. And and so I'm like, why? Why are you popular? But I don't know. I don't know why they're popular. They just exist. Like I don't know. People can argue that like, oh, like no, but like you can't deny the facts.
okay, I just wanted to clarify because like I like I don't know. I obviously, as much as I read manga, I haven't read that same amount. But it seemed like on a percentage basis, I seem to run into those more often.
Yeah, I've noticed too that those are the ones I've run into most, but they're not the most popular like global
Okay,
wise. No.
I guess that makes sense just based off everything.
Yeah. I think like they show up, people read them, they get popular from that, but they're not actually that popular.
Okay, makes sense.
Can you give me an
Alex,
example of
any
one?
manga?
I want to know one. Which do you know of an example?
Um, God, it hasn't been a while because now I just actively like usually I'm pretty selective on reading anything that has manhwa and webtoon is a genre. But I think there was one about studying. Um,
Studying
fuck,
can
what was
get
it
pretty
called?
intense.
No, yeah, no, it was like I think study was in the title, and I think it was like about some like like a college guys that made like a group, a study group or something to get by college, but like, and like there was like going in the genre said like oh like slice of life. So I was like oh it's gonna be about going to college and like there was romance, but from what I saw it was like oh it's gonna be understated like it's not a big focus, and then like apparently it's a big focus so they lied, but two it was like the third chapter and it was like oh that guy's like they already laying down the groundwork to say like yeah this guy's a rapey like he's gonna rape her and like I was like oh god like I was like no it's like I'm out, but it was like it was definitely like it was that webtoon like obviously like you said I think you said people probably can upload their own style but like I know that there's like some kind of art tool that webtoons provides or something or like one of those websites I know they have like an art style like maker that people can use. And the reason I know it is because there's so many arts, like so many that use that exact same art style, which means it's probably an open source platform. And just like those happen to be very interesting and pretty weird and sketchy, risque. And even the non-risque ones, sometimes I'm like, they're kind of weird. But I to be fair, like all I remember is okay. The only details I can remember is that the main dude was like, and this is pretty generic actually. Now that I think about it, he was like a nerdy older loser. He had glasses. He had like gray hair. And then, like, at some point, they made him cool, but all they did was, like, they spiked up his hair, and he had spiked up. And there was a group of 6. And the 6 in the group were, like, him, like, the super pretty girl, the super pretty, but, like, debatable in the show, but out in the story, but outside of the story, you think, like, no, she's definitely underage. Like, she should not be there. And then there was the older woman. And then there was, like, on the guy's side, there was, like, the main guy. There was some, like, oh, he's just like a old good person who's trying to study, and then there was like a third super douchey guy. I don't know, that doesn't help because those are all pretty generic statements, but like that's what I remember, and it was like how they were like set up. And I can't really remember much on that because I didn't really make it that far in, because the rape came pretty early, and once it came out, I was like, God, I'm not. This is like nothing. So I was like, I'm done.
You know what? I think those webtoons too, like the ones that have like that theme, they're also like, I think they're not really categorized by like manga platforms, but like some of those, like if you look at like a webtoon platform, those ones are usually categorized under like the adult section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I see it. That's actually technically like one issue that comes up with the platform I use, which I do like Manga Rock, but the problem is I think especially regarding manhwas, it has manhwa and webtoon as a genre, as like, so you can specifically find those, and I think that kind of makes it harder because then all those like different types get lumped into one. So that's why I think it also makes it weirder because like I use that one and it's good for manga because they have a very diverse genre selection, but I think with manhwa like they group them up as its own genre too. And so like unless you go in depth and search for it within the manhwa category, which I don't do because I mean, like I said, it makes it harder to find like the bad ones, and it's easier for them to push the bad ones on and make it seem like they're more popular than they are, I guess.
Yeah, because I know a lot that are like slice of life, and it takes forever for like the plot to develop. And like like one example I know is like The Lady and Her Butler, and that one's really popular on one of the platforms I use that's specifically centered on webtoons, and like 50 chapters in, and like the plot's finally developing. maybe even
Preach.
more, like 54, but there were like some moments where like, oh, how cute, but then like the real development of the story, like the real plot twists and whatnot, were like 54 chapters in, and it's only because like the current boyfriend and the ex-girlfriend meet, but like they hate
that's a classic.
They hate each other.
That's a classic
Yeah, they
move.
meet at work,
Yeah.
and she's a bitch, and she like, kind of like a spoiler, so beware, but like she kind of like tries to sabotage him by taking credit for his work, but like it's a pretty lighthearted thing, so it's not even like fully evil on like, yeah, I'm gonna steal it, I'm gonna like try to get you fired. I think she takes like she's debating right now. She's debating right now about what to do, but she's leaning more on like trying to steal his work. But she's trying to convince him to do his work. So it's very slow manhwa.
Oh, okay.
But that one itself is categorized as just like romance and slice of life.
All right. Good to know.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good manhwa that I'll have to get recommendations from at a later point, because I am currently having a hard time finding what's the next manga I should read, and I'm kind of just keeping up with the ones I'm currently into, but haven't really found like the next big thing to get into. I've been trying the Kingdom Hearts one, but like it's like,
Oh yeah, I
alright.
tried it.
It's alright.
It's alright.
yeah. All the ones I love are just kind of on like hiatuses or going slow. But Alex, any manga you want to recommend?
I don't read.
Do
I
you
don't
wanna-
read manga.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, you want to clarify because people might think you're illiterate. Hey, Emmy's here.
I said, if anything, I said I don't, not I can't.
Yeah.
Especially when
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah.
Thank you for being so polite
That'd be
and,
very
and chiming
problematic.
in at a pause.
But yeah, I'll clarify. I don't read manga. I don't read at all.
Yeah, no. I recommend it though, because you are into anime, and some of the series have really
Reading
good
in
manga
general
runs.
or reading manga?
Well, both, but yeah, go for it. That's a very good point.
I'm
Any
just
comment?
mashing the keyboard keys.
Hey, eventually it's bound to work.
I mean, how do you think most shows get their script writing? It's from monkeys banging on keys.
That's a bastardization of the writing process, I imagine.
That's what all like companies make fun of it. Don't they like put like that scene in some shows where it's just like a monkey on a typewriter?
I think that's like I've seen that joke in relation to like specific networks. Like I think Futurama has a joke where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, CBS needs a new comedy," and they throw a monkey in a room with a keyboard, and they're like, let's add a laugh track, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that in multiple things though, but like that's what I'm trying to say. But
Yeah, I get you.
Also,
Yeah.
I'd like to point out Alex and I have been playing Words with Friends. So,
Oh, he's
demolishing her.
he's been very vocal about how he's annoyed by the game.
It's because it's so random. Like at one point I'll be playing a game and then my phone rings. It goes ding. I'm like, oh, Asham finally made her move. I guess I better wait a few hours before answering back. You know, I'm currently busy, but you know that can wait.
But
I don't know, a week ago.
yeah. Yeah, sort
Well,
of.
that's how the game works. That's how most games work, actually. I'm not.
Asham,
You should
Asham.
play with her more because she's terrible at the game. So.
Shut up. I just keep getting bad pieces. Like, I'm currently looking at the pieces I got right now, and I'm like, what the fuck? I can't make any words with this.
Can you tell everybody the score?
No.
Why not?
all right, Alex, do you want to tell everybody the score?
No,
Oh,
Alex,
sure,
you
let me-
can't tell the score.
Why not?
Because it's sad.
He's sad.
Badly.
All right. I'm just gonna say that I'm in the triple digits and she's in the double digits of score, but I have over double hers. So.
You have a little less than double.
No. It's definitely it's more than double. Do the math.
Fine, I'll just say the score. 85 for me and 194 for Alex.
That's a score.
Yeah. Okay, but
See you
85
next week to
and
see the next
85 does not make 194.
Yeah, over double. I have over double.
No, you don't.
Yes, it
That's-
would be 170, wouldn't it?
No.
Yeah, it'd be
Oh
170
yeah,
if
it
you.
is. See, I'm the idiot. I can't do math. I thought it was like 9. What? I know. I won't invite you anyway.
Oh,
I'm a sore loser.
because I'm too good
so-
at games.
Oh, I know what word I can make.
Great.
There we
This just turned into like a Scrabble Let's Play.
No.
But Emmy, you didn't get to chime in. What any good mangas you read or recommend? Basically, there's a conversation about K-pop, and then that led into manhwas, that led into mangas.
Great.
And so
word.
I ask you that any mangas you've really enjoyed in the past to recommend to anyone listening or whatnot. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm not a good person to recommend though.
I am a average person just because while I definitely have a lot I recommend, it's very skewed because like it's not
Mm,
it's not diverse enough because like I haven't read a lot of the better horror ones and stuff like that, so it's very skewed to more either action shonen or slice of life romance. There's a lot of slice of life, I'll be honest, and as of the last year, it's been heavily focused on the educational. So it's very skewed.
interesting.
Because
See,
I've been getting into a big educational manga kick, which is it's a fascinating genre just overall. I highly recommend. Because I'll tell you guys this because it's really interesting to me. But apparently, and I guess it's because how many people probably make mangas for fun and how easy the barrier of entry is, and because they need to be unique with their topics. There's a wide variety of topics, and so there's this like pseudo subgenre. It's not literally a genre because it's not classified as such, but there's a pseudo subgenre that I've coined as informatainment, edutainment, I guess is the best way to put it, because they make a concept for a manga that's like in somehow entertaining, but they use it as a platform to educate you on a topic. So like I know that sounds very vague, and there's ones that have been gotten really popular with the idea where like there's a lot of them that do have like a story, but the main point is they actually teach you about like certain cooking elements, and that's the most common denominator. Like those are the most popular because it's like, oh, it's a story about two sisters who are moving in together, and look, they're learning to cook together to build their relationship up, and then they'll tell you about all these like cooking recipes and stuff. But like I've gone down that rabbit hole, and there are some crazy in-depth ones. Like there's one, and I actually really like this one because it's really entertaining. There's one that's about like physical fitness, so it's all about like there's a whole plot, but it's really to inform you about different exercises and how what muscles they work on and how to work on your physical fitness. And I actually really enjoy that one because it's really good. And on the other side, there's one that I don't know. Like I tried to start reading it, and I'm not getting hooked yet. But I swear to God, it's edutainment about laundry. Like it just teaches you about like advanced laundry techniques and how to like properly take care of clothes, how to make them better, stuff like that. Like I'm not even shitting you. It just focus. It's like tells you like, oh, when you like what's the best way to wash a jacket in the washing machine, and like from that I learned that if you're gonna wash a jacket, especially a cotton blazer, you want to line it with a metal sheet bag because that'll actually won't aggressively rub the cotton. And you want to use like, and it tells you like what products to use and like what's better for it temperature wise, and like it goes into the science, and it's really weird. But there's like a bunch of different fields. Like they have these edutainment ones where like they teach you about certain things through like a more entertaining platform. It's actually very interesting. I'm subscribed to like I'm currently reading like 10 different ones that are different cooking ones, and they're like, oh my god, they're fantastic. They're amazing. There's one I'm reading now that's literally just focusing on ramen. Like it's nothing, it's just ramen, but it's awesome.
Ooh, ramen.
So yeah, highly recommend. But there's also good ones too. And the thing is, for some reason, I guess because of the way the industry works, a lot of manga, even when they get adapted, the manga's typically better. Not because it should be, but because the Japanese industry seems to think that making anime just to market the manga is a better strategy than making the manga or anime good in its own right. And so a lot of times you'll get manga that are way better than the anime, and it's unfortunate because a lot of them deserve like really good adaptations, but it's a symptom of the industry, I guess is the more accurate term.
True. But they are trying to get people to read more in a way.
True. No, that's true, and it's not like a full bad thing. It's just a shame because then there's like thresholds. As far as I've seen throughout the years, there's thresholds for people trying like trying Japanese entertainment, I guess is the best way to put it. And so like the first threshold is most people won't even try anime because like anime is fucking weird, anime is fucking crazy, it's all blah 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 XXY whatever, so they won't even try that and they'll just cut themselves off, right? The next tier is like people that'll like watch anime and like that's great. and like sometimes it'll just be the more easy stuff, like the big shonen, like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, all the main stuff. And there's like the next level where people will like actually watch us beyond those like big name Western ones. And ironically, all the big Western ones always, every time there's ever one that gets big in the West, it's always a shonen. Like it's just the only exception that I've seen that's really big and not a shonen is to a lesser degree Attack on Titan. But to be fair, Attack on Titan is nowhere near the popularity of the shonens. So, but that's a lesser issue. Then the next step is manga, which is like I think is a good like that's where I'm at right now. And then the step after that is light novels. And only because light novels are really hard to get in the West because they're not often translated and brought over. And I've been kind of on the fence of trying light novels. I've only read a light novel for one series, but I'm kind of stuck in the middle because there's like 50 books there, and I'm like, I don't even know the right order. So like I'm trying to figure that out. A Certain Magical Index. So yeah, that series, like, its popularity comes from the fact that it has a long running, and I mean fucking long running book series where there's 4 different series. The main character, the spin-off, the third spin-off, and they have a 4th spin-off. Each of them have 20 books, with the first series having 50, the second series has fucking 20, and the third series have both 10 each. So there's like fucking like over 100 books between 4 series, and then because it's so popular, they have fucking super side story spin-offs, like entire books dedicated to just joke stories, like fan fiction almost. So like there's so many, and like I really like the series because it really fleshes out. It does what I wanted My Hero to do, and as the time gone on, it's shown that My Hero is probably not going to do that, which is it doesn't focus on one character. Like you really build out the universe, and like you really get a better picture of everyone, like that whole world, instead of just focusing on certain characters. Not to say My Hero is bad, but at the beginning it seemed like they were going to focus on everyone more equally, but now it seems like that's probably not the case. She said it's Google, not the internet, so maybe she will be back shortly. But anyways, Alex, what are you up to right now? What are you doing? What's the plan for the day?
Plan for the day?
Carpe diem, what is it?
Man, I want to play more Blackout with you.
I do. Blackout is fun. Blackout is fun.
Is it?
It's pretty fun. I mean, I was very excited going into this weekend because I was like, all right, like I'll try Blackout, and I know I haven't really played much Blackout, but I'm open to try. And I was like, okay, I'll play Blackout. And the first few games, I was like, oh, this is fun. And it kind of wore off pretty fast. But like, I've always had that theory where like playing games are much more fun when you play with others. So like, I'm down to play more. But it's just like I don't know where Blackout falls as far as my ranking of battle royale games. Cause like, I guess I like it more than Fortnite. Cause I'm not very interested in Fortnite anymore. Especially since it's turned from like a battle royale to more of a building with battle royale aspects. I still enjoy PUBG. I've actually been playing PUBG on and off for the last few weeks, and that's fun. But I enjoy Blackout. I mean, it's a lot faster. Definitely faster pace, and I think that's good. But I don't know. I've a mixed reception with Blackout for me personally.
Understandable. I mean, it's basically Battle Royale. It's the same kind of game mode, except across from different games. It's just some small aspects that do change. Like like the Blackout is probably one of the only ones that's first person, like committed first person in PUBG.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, you're probably right because it's not actually that often that they're committed first person.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that. It's interesting. At least until we get Battlefields this year.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said at least probably until we get Battlefield this year, then there'll be like 2 AAA like committed first person battle royale games.
I forgot they were doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I only assume that they're gonna be doing committed first person, but I guess they might not be able to.
Interesting.
I don't know.
But let me tell you a story about my trip to this new place. Sound good?
Tell us.
Go for it.
All right. So yesterday, I was invited to try this opening of this new restaurant. Well, it was a pre-opening because they're not really opening.
Soft opening, if you will.
Okay, I wasn't sure what to call it, but so this place apparently, and I didn't know it was popular, but people really seem to think that it's like the next big thing or something. I've never heard of it. This is the first time I've ever heard of this place, and it's called Cane's Chicken Fingers or something. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers or something. So
Interesting.
first of all, I've never heard of this place, and everyone says it's like world famous. So I went there, and I was eating, got my food, not bad, really good chicken. It's not like, it's it's not like greased like most chicken. Like this chicken is absolutely like juicy, while maintaining the crisp outside texture. Uh, they serve it with fries and French toast. Oh, not French toast. Texas toast. So
For us though who aren't super clear, can you explain Texas toast?
it's basically. I'm not. I can't explain it that well because I usually think Texas toast is always made in different ways, but it's basically a big piece of bread toasted on both sides.
Oh, okay. So it's a
Toasted
lot
on-
simpler than I thought. All right, fair
Well,
enough.
buttered on both sides. My bad.
Okay.
Not toasted. Sorry, but I'm not too familiar with Texas toast because I've never had it that much. So any Texans out there want to give me or us the full description of Texas toast and the process? Well, pretty sure there's not that much of a process. It's just toast, but whatever. So, uh, I guess the point it was good. It was a good trip, but I was mainly concerned in like sampling the atmosphere as well. So there's just a bunch of random people around me, right? And so I'm eating my food. I'm like, oh man, how can I make like a big scene at a place like this? And I turned to my father who was sitting next to me, and I'm like, you think they have any hamburgers? Like I made sure like to say it loud enough to where like the employees could, because there's employees everywhere because they just opened it, so they were just everywhere, and, and they just started cracking up in front of it, and my sister just gets like really embarrassed. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. I just start criticizing everything because it's just funny. Uh, I think what's weird is that they have disco balls in it. It kind of looks like one of those sports bars, if that makes sense. You familiar with Buffalo, the Buffalo
Yep.
Wild Wings area?
Yep.
It looks like that, but like that's the decor basically. But there's no TVs or anything in there, so it's a really weird style, but it's nice. The only problem is that it's placed in front of a movie theater, so traffic
Wait,
is going to be out. Nope, nope, no,
No.
nope.
I'm not gonna say it, but like
Location.
if it's I don't. No.
I know where you know it is. I know where you know it is because we live very close to each other, so
Oh,
I know you know where it is.
no. They put it there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hell.
The despair.
It's got a drive-through, so it's gonna be worse than McDonald's as a
Oh
drive-through.
my
So
gosh.
yeah.
How am I gonna go to the movies now?
just go to
I
a
guess
different movie
walking.
theater.
Oh, that too.
That's true.
not a good
There's,
movie
like,
theater.
There's like 3 movie theaters near me, so I'm good. But like, I like going to that one.
I don't. I hear that the service is terrible. But besides that, so I just started thinking about other ways to make it weird. So we were sitting next to, I guess the condiment station, and on one of the walls was this weird image of a dog on a bed, kind of like waking up the master, like the dog, yeah, the owner. Let's not say master, but and then above the dog was a chicken with its wings sprawled out, but it had the same kind of like holiness. It looked very sacrilegious. I'm not gonna throw a fit about it, but I just thought it was funny. So
All right.
I just start saying, should I be offended by this? Do I have to call the Vatican? Is this blasphemous? And just started saying all that crap.
Now, just sorry. Can you clarify what exactly about this dog was so sacrilegious?
It
Looking-
reminded me of the stained glass window of the Virgin Mary. It had that kind of like. It's hard to explain, but like it had that like how in some kind of. Are you familiar with stained glass, by the way?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
we
I
know
mean,
familiar
I
with
don't
stained
know.
glass.
I don't want to assume. No, but like what's depicted on
Yes.
them. Okay, I just want to make sure. Well, it had that kind of like.
You guys
Oh.
don't own stained glass.
I mean, I don't know, man. You're not Catholic or Christian.
Yeah, I know.
We're-
That's what I said. You guys don't own stained glass.
Well, I mean, in this style of like whatever. So basically, it had this kind of array of like light coming out from it, kind of how in Catholic or Christian portrayals, it's kind of like a holiness symbol, kind of. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but I just thought it was funny to point that out. And be like, I'm gonna have to call the Pope about this. The Pope has to know what this establishment is doing, trying to assume a new god that is which the chicken.
Special Pope police.
Special Pope. What? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Are you trying to reference something, or is this?
No. You have to call a special Pope police, right? Because I imagine every time there's a sacrilegious act happening, the Pope can't make it down. So I imagine he has like an executive council of like secret black ops Pope agents who come in and like they just deal with all the stuff they need to deal with, but on the Pope's behalf.
Mm.
I mean, I imagine it's very hard to get a Pope going like at last minute's notice anywhere. So I imagine he has to send out his like Black Ops squad.
It's Black Ops Squad.
That'd be a fun game. Call of Duty Black Ops Pope.
Pope Wars.
Pope
Sacrilegious. Call of Duty Sacrilegious Wars.
God damn. I'm be honest with you. I think during during the history of the church, I'm not sure, but I think there was a point where there was two at once,
Yeah,
and there was
there
just a whole
three
shit
at
about
once.
it.
3 popes all fighting
Alright, there
against
you
each
go.
other, and they called
There
that
you go.
time period Pope Wars.
I'm waiting for that FPS, guys. Come on. What is it? Activision? Activision, where are you at? Raven? Treyarch? Come on.
Oh, I think Activision was the one that's going through like a bunch of changes now. Like I don't know if you guys saw about that.
Activision works on
but, like,
a lot.
There was like a bunch of internal changes, and like they're like firing and like released a bunch of their high level agents. Like I think they changed their CFO, and I think maybe not the CEO but someone else, like CTO. And then they also they lost Bungie. Like I think Bungie bought itself out now, so Bungie's independent again.
Oh, I heard
and-
something about that.
Yeah, so like now Activision like doesn't have Bungie anymore, so they don't have Destiny going forward, and they had a bunch of big changes with internally. Like I don't, people aren't sure what exactly it means, but like there's a lot of big changes at the same time that are very suspicious. But
Suspicious.
main thing to come from that is Bungie is now not a part of Activision Blizzard anymore. So going forward, what does that mean? I have no idea, but it's interesting.
So you have no theory on what might be going on.
No, because I think more likely it was just like Activision probably had annoyingly high demands for Destiny, because like there was a lot of reports coming out about how a lot of Activision games were deemed failures by Activision regardless of how well they did, and I think that coupled with Destiny being Bungie's passion project in a sense, and them having left Halo to do Destiny, maybe kind of the disagreement over that probably soured them both. So maybe Bungie wanted to get full control over Destiny, and maybe they saw an opportunity and they somehow were able to work a way to get themselves free of Activision. Whether that's as far as I can go with my theory, just because I know a lot of people's theories talk about how like, yeah, this is going to mean Destiny's going to be good and shit going forward. I don't think that has anything to do with anything, because as far as I've seen, a lot of the shit that people hate about Destiny seem to be decisions made on Division and Bungie's side. And like it's cool to hate Activision, like I get it, like it's the hot shit, but to be fair, I don't think they deserve it. I think that apparently a lot of what was shitty about Destiny to a lot of people that played it were Bungie made decisions, but now that they're on their own, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's interesting too, because this is definitely not like a planned thing, because I think Bungie was under contract for 3 Destiny games with Activision, so them coming out is a special circumstance, which means this was like unplanned. And I think it has something to do with maybe performance of Activision's projects lately, but I don't know how reasonable they are, because Activision hasn't been doing necessarily that poorly as of recent, really. I mean, they may have had, as far as critical reception, they may have done a little worse, because maybe more people weren't as fan of Destiny 2, and like critically they may have done a bit worse, but as far as actual financial performance, I don't see them doing worse than usual. And to be fair, when they're in part of the giant conglomerate that controls Activision/Blizzard, it makes it even less sense why they would have to worry about financial insecurity, because those are two of like some of the fucking highest grossing video game companies owned by an even larger corporation that probably makes like money doing everything under the sun, from like selling fruits to like selling children. So I don't know what any of this is supposed to mean. All I know is Bungie's on its own, and so going forward, it's very interesting to see what Bungie's gonna do, because they went from Microsoft and they had a solid run with Microsoft, and then they went to Activision and they had almost equally, in my opinion, less solid but still nothing to look down upon run with Activision, and now they're on their own. And what they do next is going to be very big, because I don't know, they're not tied to any platform, they're not tied to anybody else. It's up to them at the moment, and like unless someone buys them out, which I highly doubt, because they went out through all the trouble to buy themselves out of Microsoft, I think we're going to see what Bungie's going to do, and this time, like, whatever Bungie does next, it's going to be square on their shoulders. Like, obviously, I don't know how much of the Destiny rumors about Bungie fucking it up and not Activision are true. A lot of people like to think that it's the other way around, and I don't know if that's because they hate Activision or because they know more than I do. But it'd be interesting to see, now that Bungie is, like, on their own, what they do next, because their track record has fluctuated over the years. From the glory that they got from Halo, which had its own problems in a way, to Destiny, which was more critically panned. I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes next, though. That's about it. That's like my general theory on what this comes from. It's just that probably disagreements over Destiny, and Activision thought it did shitty. Bungie didn't think it did shitty, and so Bungie saw an opportunity and bought themselves out of it. But that's about it.
Interesting dilemma they have on their hands.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm curious though what like their plan is, because like they were the ones that wanted to do Destiny, so now that they like left this, and apparently I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, they retained the rights to Destiny. I wonder if they're gonna go through with like a third Destiny, or if they're gonna do something completely different altogether. But I don't know.
Honestly, with the way they did Destiny 1, Destiny 2, it's completely possible that they might do Destiny 3. Man, they can make infinity amount of Destiny games.
Yeah, I mean, and they do make a fuck ton of money, so it's not like it's a bad idea to continue making them. That's a game that like popular. That's a game that as of lately I've come around to, because like not as like a critical reception, but I've actually been really interested to play, just because like as of late I've been watching and seeing more about Destiny and content and Destiny players and stuff like that, and like the general consensus I've seen from the people that I've watched is that the main base game of Destiny are like whatever, they don't care too much, but the beauty of it is in the raids. And I've been watching a lot of the raid streams and playthroughs, because like the raids look really interesting, like really fun, if I'm being honest, because like they look very challenging, very difficult, but it's like it feels like a pseudo version of like what MMO raids would be like, where it requires a high level amount of coordination and teamwork, but it's like a difficulty that pays off when you complete it. So like lately I've been seeing a lot of cool stuff about Destiny. It's like it's kind of making me wish that like there was a group to play Destiny with, but sadly there is not, so I'll probably play Destiny 1 that I have eventually.
Which Destiny do you have?
I have one.
Oh, I have 2 and 1.
Oh, do you have it for the PlayStation though? See, that's the sad part. I have one for the freaking Xbox, and actually I might have 2 for the PC, because they gave it. I think they gave the base game away for free for a while.
It was free for PlayStation 4 too.
Oh, okay.
Well, Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is free. I don't know if it's still free.
Oh, okay.
Probably
yeah,
not.
I definitely don't have it for the PlayStation, and I might have 2 for the PC for free.
So
but that's unclear.
I just want to point this out. I still noticed for the longest of time that Ashram has not friended me on PSN.
Ashram keeps forgetting to add.
Yeah, I don't believe
it's a good
that.
excuse.
I've had like 5 people ask me to add them, and I'm like, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Once I figure out how to add people. Because that's also
See, how about you give your name out next time? That way they add you.
I don't even know my name.
Great.
Gotcha. You thought you outsmarted her? Nah, she got you.
Great. There's always something.
Well, I
Sounds like it.
outdumbed him.
That's a better one. Well, outsmart because in reality you're just trying to not add him as long as possible. So
No, I
it's
would.
it's
I
a
would
trick.
add Alex. What's your name? Oh yeah, I can already guess your name. I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need it.
I know your name. Okay, I'll try and figure out how to add, and then I'll add you this week. I'll let you know when I add you.
Stay tuned next week for the results.
Yeah, and you guys can talk about getting added together.
Yeah. It was a thrilling experience, that when that notification popped up.
After so long.
But yeah. I guess we don't have to update anymore. All right.
Yeah, update over. Sweet. So at the blast to the future is over.
All right.
But God, I really wish we all had the same console because I feel like there'd be some games like Destiny 2 like doing a 4-man raid, it'd be difficult and it'd probably be infuriating because of how difficult it'd be, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I've done it with two
that's why I'm really
people.
excited. Oh yeah, wait, which raid if you
I have
remember?
no
I don't know.
clue. To be honest, I wasn't the one. I just got like an invite to it. It was my cousin who was in charge of it, and so I just followed his lead.
Oh, okay.
But it was pretty fun.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't have most of the people I know don't have Destiny 2 on the Xbox, so that's why the closest thing is when that new Overwatch event comes around, I'm gonna hit up Garcias again and I'm be like, yo, dude, you, me, and a crew, let's get a raid going in Overwatch, do the event. But that's a very timed thing.
You're
so
missing
having
part of
something
the crew.
Well, yeah, but I'm hoping there's a free weekend during the event and then you can join. But I can't do much else otherwise.
Just mail me Nick's copy. I mean, he doesn't use it.
He wouldn't notice. I'll tell you that right now. If I walk out, took it, and mailed it to you, I probably wouldn't have to worry about hearing about it for at least a year, because he'll only figure it out once it becomes something he wants to play, which is probably never. It's just that simple.
Oh man.
But sadly, I cannot do that, so I will have to find a replacement. Although I have a few in mind.
Pooh.
Dun dun dun. Ah, God.
Wait, is the new Overwatch event gonna be like a raid kind of thing?
No. I mean, I was. It's not literally a raid. I was comparing the raids to the PVE events Overwatch has. But the event coming up now isn't gonna be a PVE at all, anyways, because it's a Chinese New Year event. So it's just gonna be I don't know what actually it's gonna come with, but it's just gonna be. It's not gonna be PVE most likely. It's gonna be some kind of. Actually, what did they do last year for? I forget what they did last year for Chinese New Year. I think it was just Chinese New Year's themed.
Is it Capture
the Flag?
Yeah.
But I imagine they won't do that this year because Capture the Flag is now a common game type. So.
Yeah, but they'll make it into a tournament. Didn't they do that last year?
That's true. I forgot about that. You're right. They probably just do that. If lucky though, I'm fingers crossed. I hope they do something new personally. But I mean, yeah, they're most likely you're right. They're probably just gonna make it a competitive tourney or something. Oh man, I don't know. Monster Hunter is fun though. Monster Hunter is kind of getting that raid kick sort of going, but it's still different when there's two, because
we need more people. We need an army.
For a raid experience, you need an army, and also I'm very low leveled right now, which now that we played it today, I'm probably gonna play more this week, just because it's a lot more I can do it in shorter bursts than I thought. So honestly, this week I might just not play many multiplayer games, and I might just level myself up in Monster Hunter because I'm having fun there. But even that, so my gear needs there's what I ideally want, and what keeps every time, and it's sad because every time we set it up, it always gets fucked up at some point. But I would love to have a complete party experience in a game, in an RPG or level up game, where we all start at the same time and kind of grow consecutively and build up to the top and do the crazy challenges simultaneously. And the problem is every time that comes around, something fucks it up. So me and Emmy did that with Dead Island, but we don't really have time to play Dead Island that much more. Same with Borderlands pre-sequel. We had Division, but then I couldn't play it for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you guys got leveled up, and that kind of blew my interest off. And now it's leaving
Great.
Game Pass anyways.
Oh,
so
what?
It doesn't even matter.
I didn't finish it. Damn it.
Well, I mean, you weren't going to.
Well, we don't
no
know
offense.
that. We can finish it.
I was pretty certain, but
Oh man.
regardless, it's leaving Game Pass, so that's even so even if I at some point wanted to invest all the time on my own to catch up to where you guys are, then that's still not possible. And then it's like, yeah, and all these times it just doesn't work out, but I just want that experience of like start a game all the way through and do this, and that's why like everybody I see watch on Destiny, like they did that. They had that experience where they had like their group and they all grew the levels up, and then they did the high level, they maxed out the levels, and then they did the raise. And like that sounds like fun. It's just that it doesn't seem to work on a time level basis, and that's the problem because there's nothing to do about that, and it's just like something you have to live with. It seems like fun. Seems like fun. But I digress. I
feel like the only time we were all together to do something. Well, to be fair, it's because we all lived close to each other at that time. And I was gonna mention that time that I'm not gonna say his name again, but your housemate there decided to have us all play D&D one day.
That worked because one, we were all in the same vicinity, but two, we were all on basically the same schedule.
Also,
the problem now is that we're not on the same schedule, and that kind of makes everything much more difficult, to say the least. But also, D&D blew up spectacularly.
We were not going anywhere with that game.
Yeah, and I'm glad it ended, if I'm being honest. I'm glad it did. But, yeah, no, that's a fair point. That was, like, the closest to a consecutive run experience. On a smaller scale, when we did the Overwatch Archive events, we had that kind of, even though it was just, like, one weekend instead of, like, multiple days, that one weekend where we just all kept going back and back, and we just kept working together to get better at that Overwatch Archive event. That was kind of a mini version of that experience, which is nice.
Yeah.
But, like, it'd be cool to do that on, like, a bigger scale.
How many people are we talking about?
It depends on what the game allows. I mean, most games allow 4. Some games have more, but it really depends on what game we play and what they allow.
Pull some Leroy Jenkins shit.
Well, that'd be pretty fun too. But I don't know. One thing that we could try it in is, I know Dead Island is still on Game Pass and the sequel's on Game Pass, but me and Emmy played it, but we didn't get that far in. So I feel like it wouldn't be a big problem for us to play with you and finish like the 2 or 3 missions that you need to catch up to where we are, and then we can do that. But even so, like, that's underlying the issue that it doesn't come to a point where you guys really want to play it. Because then if you guys really want to play it, obviously you should play it. But like, my schedule is really fucking weird, and then I won't be able to play it, and then that problem kind of recircles. But that's something we could consider. I don't know.
Interesting. What was I gonna say? You said your schedule is weird. Did it change or something?
No, but it's just like during most of the week, it's just like very limited. And then during the weekends is where I have more time, but just relative to you guys' schedules, it doesn't really line up as often. And there's a lot of time where like you guys will be playing stuff, and then you guys might want to play something that we already played, which is totally fair. And then it gets kind of tricky there. But yeah, no, I just literally still have the same like Monday to Friday, technically like 9 to 6, and then I have like other stuff to do outside of that, but like I get like 2-3 hours maybe, sometimes like 1 to 2 on weekdays, which is kind of like a weird number to work with, especially if you're going to play like online sessions, because those are more time consuming than how much time you actually get to play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Figure something out. That's how life works, man. You just gotta keep on driving until, if you get to a bumpy road, you just gotta, take it easy, and then after that bump, you go the same speed, driving metaphors.
These are some very interesting driving metaphors.
I mean,
but
I'm not wrong.
I didn't say you were. These are very interesting driving metaphors.
Man, okay, that's something that I wanted to talk about now that we brought that up. I didn't want to talk about it, but this is something that I was thinking about the other day. It's basically like, you can literally apply any, or you can literally say anything is like a life metaphor. Like life is like a box of chocolates, man. It's sweet until it's gone. Yeah, anything could be a life metaphor. Man, life is like video games, having fun, doing your best, but then someone comes out and shoots you and you're dead.
Life is like this Skype call. We all jump in and Emmy gets kicked out. It works. You're right.
Yeah, man. Just gotta find some sort of common ground, and bam, you get yourself a metaphor.
Yay.
How do you think fishing metaphors came to be a
Oh
thing?
my god, fishing metaphors.
The abundance of fishing metaphors.
They're so annoying.
All right. You know what?
But I like them.
That's actually a fair point. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They're just annoying, but I like them.
No.
Fair enough. You know what we should do? Okay. You know what we should do then is to make this work, and I'm keen to make this work. We should find a game that we can multiple players. We should just set a weekly date, and on we'll ahead of time, so it's very clear that we should try to only play on that day. So no one should play outside of that, and we should only try to aim for that unless circumstances come up where you can't play on that day. But then at least then we can try to actually build up through that game.
What game?
Well, I mean, that's the part we have to figure out. But I'm saying, I feel like if we set a date, maybe every Saturday at this time, let's try to get some time in and play it. Then at least if we know ahead of time, it's much easier to make sure that we can, try to stick to that. And, we don't deviate from that and we don't lose people in that process.
All right. I say the only thing that's basically available to all of us, and if you're going to include all four of us or anybody basically, is a PC game because, we all have PCs.
That is true.
Or
Granted, mine is, I'll have to make sure to test mine because mine is a much shittier circumstantial when it comes to gaming, but we can definitely find some and then I'll make sure to test them and see which ones do work and don't work.
Yeah. And then we also have to kind of hope for the best for Emmy and her internet, but
It's true. Maple Story! You guys ever play Maple Story?
I've heard of it. I heard it's hard.
It's gotten crazier over the years. When I played it primarily in middle school, it was much more simplified. And granted, there were microtransactions back then, but now it's become super crazy with 32 different character classes when there used to be 4, and there's a bunch of crazy shit. And there's also a sequel game and a mobile version, which I haven't played either, but they're kind of very different. But it was fun when I was a kid. It was just that was my MMO experience because it was oh, my friends are on Maple Story. I'm yeah, guys, are you online? Yeah, let's go kill some slimes. Go.
Maybe I'm getting the games confused.
I don't know why. Describe it. Describe what you
That's the thing.
attribute.
It's because I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I heard that some games really difficult. I think I was watching top 10 most difficult kind of games and stuff like that. I think I don't remember if it was that one or some other game that had the same kind of art style as it.
Interesting. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know how many. I can't think of any games I would guess is.
Yeah, it's fine. I've played my fair share of difficult games.
We could do RuneScape. I just realized we could do RuneScape.
Never played RuneScape, although I know
Good place to start.
Of RuneScape.
people have been trying to get us to play it.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I mean, I don't think he's got. Even if we said it, I don't think he's going to. But RuneScape is easy to run on any computer. I know that for a fact. It's not difficult. It's not at all difficult.
Is it on Steam?
I think the new one I think is on Steam, but I think there's also just you can play RuneScape Classic on their website because it's literally easy enough to run on fucking Flash. That's how simple it is. We could run it on Flash.
Interesting.
But speaking of games we should all play, I've been bad about actually going through and testing this because there's a game that I think we should try playing that we can all play. But the only problem is I had to make sure that my computer could run it, and it's a free game. Is Moonbase Alpha.
I have no idea what that is.
Moonbase Alpha?
Oh, Moonbase Alpha. I thought you said Runebase Alpha. I was like,
Oh no, yeah,
another...
Moonbase Alpha. Yeah, Moonbase Alpha is, and they say it's a video game, but it's really not. It's literally a realistic simulation of life on on the moon, made by NASA. So it's not even technically supposed to be a video game, but you play as astronauts on the moon, and it looks interesting. I gotta be honest, it's very interesting.
I might have seen some gameplay. I'm not sure. How old is this?
I have the date pulled up. It is 2010.
Okay, I definitely seen some gameplay of this.
Yeah, there's always that. I mean, there's always PC Minecraft. If everyone does, everyone have it? I actually forget.
I don't think Emmy has it on PC, and I doubt that Asham has it.
Have what?
Mm,
Minecraft PC
No.
or Minecraft Java version. There you go.
Ah.
There you go.
all right. Let me. Fuck, I forgot my Steam sign in. I was gonna check what they have because they definitely have free games that have value, but I just don't know what those are, and I need to fucking remember my password. Okay, this is bad.
Life
This is
life is
and
like
I'm
a
losing an
Steam
Uno.
sale.
Oh god, everything's going wrong.
All right, guys. Life is like a Steam sale. You know, you just gotta rush to get the good stuff before it's all over.
Oh crap, I think I actually forgot my password.
Life
Yeah.
is like coffee cake. I don't know where I was going with this.
There's a lot of coffee in it.
It's a lot of coffee.
Sorry, that's what I'm currently eating, and I was like, what can I compare life to? And then I saw like coffee cake.
Thanks
Life
for sharing.
Life is like coffee cake. You can eat it real quick.
Life
Oh.
I don't
is
get
like
it.
Uno. You play until you're out
that's
of
a
cards.
good one.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, life is like my phone. You
Life-
They
never
say
know
nothing
when
good
it's gonna
comes from playing
die.
games.
Life is like me during hide and seek. I only realize I need to pee once the game starts.
Great. We should write a book. We should be motivational speakers to motivate
I
people
don't think
to do
giving
stuff.
analogies is.
We should just make a book of life metaphors,
Of
and just
life
each
metaphors.
page is on, like we'll make a whole page, and each page is just one metaphor, like in small text in the middle, and it'll be a giant page filled with just one word, and then we can each take a page.
Okay.
I think that'll be a good idea. Oh, Counter-Strike is free to play on Steam.
Counter-Strike Source or Counter-Strike
Global
Go?
Offensive. Global Offensive.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that much.
I think that was like the sequel, but it's basically it's the key of what makes Counter-Strike. It's just Counter-Strike. So like
All right.
that's free to play. So that's one game option. Granted, not a oh shit! Did I just lose?
Probably.
Oh, I got kicked. Shit. Uno's fucking hard.
Life is like an idle game.
Okay.
Oh, I thought there was gonna. Okay, yeah. Oh, Robocraft is on.
Rollcraft's
PC.
on everything.
That makes sense. That definitely feels like a game that should be on everything. God damn.
We gotta get back on that. We gotta make some more crazy shit.
We should probably make the crazy shit ahead of when we play it, so that we can have more time to build better shit.
But are you guys gonna do it? That's my question.
Well, if someone took the initiative and actually planned it, yeah.
But
But no. Everyone wants to make plans, but Aveen has to make them for them.
No,
It's just
no,
like,
no.
oh, Aveen's
can
not gonna do dig all because he
I'll
doesn't
make
want to do dig
I'll
all.
suggest them. Let's play Robocraft in 3 weeks at 8 p.m. on that Saturday's week. On that week's Saturday. Yeah.
All right, let me check what date that is, and then I'll mark it down. Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you?
I mean, does it really matter? I mean, like, I'm getting you
Let's
to
see.
write it down.
3 weeks. So that's 9th. So you're talking about this February 9th,
Yeah, sure.
Saturday? February 9th, Robocraft at 8 p.m.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
You
well, let me
better
just-
send me a message that day and just say
Why?
I'm
Why
ready
should
to play.
he send the message?
Oh,
You're
I
the one
will.
Alright.
making the plans for it.
Cause Alex is gonna forget. That's why. He's gonna
Oh.
fucking forget. I know it. I know it right now. In my heart of hearts.
Be honest with you, this video might come out that following day.
That's true. All right. You said 8 p.m. Is that what you said, or 8 a.m.?
8 p.m. Why would it be 8 a.m.? Would you be up at 8 a.m.?
If we made plans this ahead
Wow,
of as far in
that's
advance, yeah, I would be.
dedication, Amin.
Interesting.
I'm
Interesting.
impressed.
Yeah. If I have a heads up, I can wake up whenever. All right. I just need a
All right.
heads up.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, I was planning on waking up. If I didn't find out how non-impressive Jump Force was yesterday night, I was already planning on waking up before 8 today. But then I found out how unimpressive Jump Force was, and I was like, all right, I'm not waking up. Plus, the beta sessions got canceled, so it doesn't even matter.
Oh, god damn it, Bandai.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected some technical issues, but granted, I'm honestly less. If it makes sense, I'm honestly less annoyed about the technical issues just because the game fucking sucks more than I expected, and I didn't even have that high of a standard. Like, I wasn't expecting that much. Like, I was like, oh, this game's gonna be like whatever, but somehow they blew me away and they blown my mind with how mediocre Jump Force is. It's just not great.
And weren't you excited for Jump Force?
I still am, just because of the characters that are going to be in it, and like I will eventually get it. I'm not going to get it for more than $10 probably. I'm going to wait till it's super. I'm going to get it for free or cheap. I'm not paying a lot of money for that game. It's not worth it. But I just thought it'd be like at least mediocre fun, where like Naruto Ninja Storm games, like they're not great, but they're decent. As fighting games, they're pretty shallow mechanically. Like, I would never say playing competitively, and even so, like, you get bored of them pretty fast because like the characters fight pretty much the same. But Jump Force is even worse because like after you left, Alex, I won 3 fights not even watching the game. Like, I literally, me and Emmy were talking and I was Googling stuff, and all I did was, when I wasn't looking, I was just mashing the X button, and I would look back every like 20 minutes. I'd see, oh, you won another fight, and I was like, oh, this is great, just because it makes it so simple that like I literally mash my way through it, and it's just it's so bad. It's a shame too, because like they've made a bunch of those games in the past. Like, I was talking about that yesterday. This isn't the first time they made like an anime Smash version game, but just every time they make it, it's just like it's conceptually it's cool, and they just make such shitty like mechanics that it's just like, the game could be better. Okay, I found never mind. Shit. Okay, it doesn't work on PC. It wouldn't work on PC because we don't all have it and it's not free. But at least on Xbox, we could look into playing Elder Scrolls Online. That's a thought. MMO.
Forgot about that game.
Yeah, we tried free ones in the past, and I'm still sticking to eventually getting around to those. But Elder Scrolls probably would even get Emmy on board because it's Elder Scrolls.
I have a question about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, you're right.
So like a long time ago,
yeah,
I bought like this like a CD of Elder Scroll, and like it was like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's for, but like it cost me $15, and I think it's the game, but it's for the PC. But I didn't know how to set it up, so. My question
so what's
is,
the
like,
question?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions. For starters, how do I set it up?
Okay. Funny enough,
You
that's
could
probably not
just
something I
answer,
can
yeah,
just
you would have to
I can
see it.
answer without seeing what the problem is. Because as far as the last thing I remember is most CD games have an installer that installs it for you. So I don't. When you ask questions like that, then I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Maybe the game was just
I
a
don't
license.
know. I put it in there, and then it was like.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember what it said. I'll have to check what it says. But yeah, I bought it for $15. Black Friday sale.
Interesting.
Oh, this year? Wait, when did you buy this
2015.
game?
It's like it's the Elder Scroll that has like the brown cover.
I want to say that's Oblivion. Let me check.
No, I think it's the original one.
Oblivion game has.
I don't know anything about
15.
this.
Because I think. Okay, does the name Morrowind ring a bell?
Know. I didn't play the game. I
She
didn't
didn't
get
play the game.
to that spot.
Well, I mean, I don't know if she saw the cover. I assume she didn't just like pick up a CD and say, "Give me this one."
I mean, we don't know
I
that.
kind of did. So.
All right, quick. Oh, okay. All right. We'll do a quick test. I'm gonna say a bunch of names. If any of them ring out, then we can try to get to the bottom of this. If none do, then we'll move on. But we have Morrowind, Daggerfall, or Oblivion. Any of those names ring a bell?
Elder Scroll Online. That's the one I have.
Oh. Yeah, that's. Oh,
okay.
okay. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we're talking about. Oh shit. Okay, that's Wait, isn't that? Hold on. What the fuck? I thought that game was free.
I think
I think it used to be paid for, isn't it? Or maybe it's always paid for?
no, it was paid for because they gave it
Oh.
on Xbox. They did a free trial a few months ago.
Yep. Yeah, it's still you have to buy the game. Right. Okay. But to be fair, it's a good game because they've actually added a bunch of stuff since then. As far as I know, like they keep supporting it. They literally just added another expansion.
It's on Game
Like-
Pass though, right? That's what you said?
The game is on Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
why I
my
said
Game
it-
Pass is gonna die,
Is
so.
that what I did?
Oh
Oh,
no, you probably bought the game itself, but
guys, I just buy things. I
Oh.
don't. I don't.
don't read them, don't know. You just
exactly.
put your hand out, grab, and pay.
Are you
Yeah,
a
I am.
shopaholic by any chance?
It's a problem.
Oh,
I just buy shit and I don't need it.
interesting.
It's a serious issue.
Can I document this and submit it as a film?
If
Of
you want,
awareness.
yeah. Beware of having shopaholicism.
Is that a thing?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
an actual disease?
I think so, yeah, technically. I mean, I know I've heard of shopaholics before, but I don't know if it's like medically classified.
We lost our
We did,
psychologist really
yeah.
early on, and now we can't figure this out.
I mean, I tell Emmy that I like when
Wherever.
I'm sad or stressed, I just buy shit.
That's pretty bad. But
It makes people do that though.
Buy-
I'm not justifying it, but that's when people like freak
Buy-
out, everyone has like their own go-to.
ice cream. There you go. Buy ice cream.
I'm good.
That's
Yeah.
better.
I'm
Well, then you're gonna
have
have different issues probably.
What? You mean different
Diabetes.
If you, yeah, under the assumption that like
Are
it
you
happens
saying
frequently.
you're depressed so much that you get ice cream nonstop that you're gonna
Well,
get diabetes from that?
It's assumed if she says if she shops when she's sad, and she said she's a shopaholic, then
Yeah.
clearly that means that there's a high level of depression going, like sadness coming on. Depression might be an
Get sugar-free
over-exaggeration.
ice cream or something. Gelato. What's the healthy option to ice cream?
A carrot.
I don't know.
Ice? You want some ice? You want ice without cream? How
The
about
cream
that?
isn't the problem. It's the sugar.
Shaved ice. There you go. That's why. That's what I'm saying. Any healthy alternative?
If you get hooked on
Interesting.
vegetables, that'd be impressive, but also probably very good
Healthy
for you.
addiction.
Interesting.
Sadly, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah. Or else they wouldn't be called addictions.
No, there's.
Yep.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say the people who are addicted to working out, but that's also not a good thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I just thought of the proper term for people who are addicted to vegetables.
Oh my
Uh-oh.
gosh,
Vegans.
they're not
Sorry.
addicted to vegetables. They're just,
I mean, not addicted to
yeah.
meat.
I don't know if that's how that works down. But okay, sure. I guess that's what we're gonna say. That's how that works. Man, you must have a lot of vegan friends.
Me?
that
No.
that explains it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be caught dead with a vegan friend. I'm just kidding. Of course we have vegan friends. I went to school with a bunch of vegans. I didn't enjoy them lecturing me on not to eat meat, but they're friends nevertheless.
Sound very happy about that. Oh man, those fucking vegans, man, I love them. Fucking shoving their carrots down my mouth. Fuck them. Oh, I love them though.
I like vegetables as much as the next person, but
All right, what's your favorite vegetable?
carrots? Actually, they
Ooh,
are
those
carrots.
are
Steamed
good.
carrots, by the
I
way.
like corn.
Oh, okay.
Corn?
Fair
Oh,
enough.
yeah. Well, isn't corn a
Corn
grain?
Corn is a vegetable.
Or is that-
If it doesn't have seeds, it's categorized as a vegetable.
Aren't the kernel seeds, though?
Not really.
Boom, bam. Oh,
We need an expert on the
Clearly.
anatomy of corn.
a cornologist.
Like,
if
I know
will.
you can classify corn as a
Let me
vegetable,
check.
but I also thought it was a grain. But maybe that's if they grind it up first into like maize or something, like flour.
Maybe actually, I don't know.
Oh wait.
The distinctions
So
between
corn
vegetables
is a
and fruits have
vegetable,
eluded
a
me.
grain,
We need a
and
vegan.
fruit.
Oh, it's a threefer. Holy shit, corn's a triple threat.
Oh,
It's the
God.
superfood.
It's a superfood. Hurry, feed it to the children and the cows.
Oh man, no wonder they made that movie Children of the Corn. Damn,
Oh,
It's
God.
all starting to make
Ah.
sense now. The
Yeah, 'cause
corn
they
was
were
the superfood.
they're super powered kids.
We solved
get
the
it.
mystery.
Bam, corn, eat it. Moral of the story.
How'd this
were talking about
conversation come
vegans.
to?
I
Vegans?
honestly don't.
Favorite vegetables. There you go.
Vegans.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your favorite vegetable, Vino?
My favorite vegetable is probably,
Avocado's
Avocado?
a fruit.
but I don't eat a lot of avocado. Oh, okay. Wait, it has a seed though.
Yeah.
Or wait, does it need a seed
And
to
it's
be a
got
fruit?
big
Or
ass seed right
Well,
in
it
the
grows
middle.
on a tree.
all right, well, good because I guess avocado's a bad answer since I don't eat it as much. But I guess
It grows from a plant.
spinach.
Spinach.
Because I think it's easy
That's
to
a
throw in
classic.
stuff and it
That's
doesn't really
true.
overpower
I can
anything.
appreciate
Yeah,
the
you're right.
spinach.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I like corn a lot. It's just I don't know. I limit corn consumption. I feel like it's just like it's easy to get hooked on corn.
I think.
Plus, it's hard to cook corn. Like I like to barbecue grill corn, and like I don't.
Oh.
It's too
I
hard to
boil
do
it.
that every time I want
Boil it,
corn. Like that's
And then I put like lemon on it. And it's good.
Little salt and lemon. Yeah.
that's smart. I should try that.
Gotta find the elotero
I
man.
also like to
Gonna
eat
get
it raw.
corn on the
It's
cob.
got kind of like a sweet taste.
Interesting. Actually, I've never had it raw before.
Yes, likewise. It's interesting. I've
Oh,
never
well,
even
I do
knew
it.
that was a thing people did.
I eat it raw sometimes.
Is it much harder
It feels
when it's
like
raw?
I'm eating an apple
Yeah,
in
right?
the sense that like
I would expect
the,
it.
the texture's the same, but like it has a sweeter taste in my opinion. Like you taste the full sweetness of the corn.
The more you know. The more you know.
Spit with corn. then.
Yep.
Very informative.
This has been today's topics on vegetables. Eat them, kids. You want to grow big and
Yep.
strong? Eat some
I
vegetables.
think I've been stranded by my mom. We were supposed to leave at
Wait, what?
4:30, but like
I just
she's like still watching TV, so I don't know.
maybe she's like waiting for you. She's like, oh, I'll let her finish her little talk cast, and then we'll go.
I don't put that beyond her. She's very patient. She's a patient person.
That's good.
It is.
Patience is a virtue.
Except with my aunt, because my aunt like really pushes her patience. Like we don't leave the house. She says we'll
Great.
leave the house at like 8, but then we end up leaving at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh shit! I just realized. What if Emmy didn't get her recording?
What do you mean?
Because like, let's say when everything crashed, what if her thing crashed? Then she wouldn't have her audio, and if she doesn't have her audio, then there's gonna be a whole section in the middle where it's just like nonsensical what we're saying
But
because we're talking
I
in
thought it
relation
was
to
just
her.
for Google.
Well,
That
wasn't
If
it-
that happened,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I'm saying like maybe like I don't. She didn't mention the Audacity in any way, so I'm not sure if that like got fixed or any, if that got affected in any
automatically
way.
saves stuff. Yeah, because my Audacity crashed
it?
Oh,
while I was editing, and I was like, shit, I didn't save. And so I was worried, and so I turned it back on, and boom, it saved.
alright,
Yeah.
never mind then.
It saves.
Granted, I guess she probably wasn't here for long enough that it would matter that much. But I was gonna say that we just cut that whole part out. Oh boy, technical issues are abundant.
Troubles of managing video.
Yeah, that is true. It would have been a lot easier if we were all in the same area.
Yeah.
But no, Emmy's got to live in Alaska. So, what about that?
We're moving to Alaska. Woo.
The
So
land prices are ridiculous.
Take that, PETA and vegans.
Alright, screw PETA, dude. PETA can suck a fat one.
Right.
They do. They say
They
they're
suck.
good, but they're actually bad.
Yeah,
Of course.
they're-
Have you seen Kitten Squad? That is a very, very bad
is
animal
so
abusive game.
The game is so
Yeah.
like just scary.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was playing. I didn't realize it was made by PETA until after. I was like, what the hell am I playing?
Yeah, I played it a bit just because like that was before I had many. That's before I had any other Switch games. So I was like, oh, I need something to play with other people. So I was like, I got Kitten Squad, and me and my sister played it, and it's just like, this is weird. This is very, very weird. And who made it? Oh, PETA. Okay, never mind. It makes sense.
Yeah.
My God, there are an abundant amount of very weird games that show up when you look on the free section of Steam.
Well, yeah. It's where most people dump
Extras.
their
Their projects.
first projects.
Their indie games.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Then again, it might finally get somebody
That's
their
true.
big break, too. So,
That's true.
it's a gamble.
If you want your big break, send emails to officialotcpodcast@gmail.com. And we might give you your big break if you made a new game. If not, who
Oh,
cares?
speaking
Oh, I'd be down to play
Speaking of
people's
indie
games if they
games.
ask us.
just going back to like the webtoon thing. There's this webtoon, and it's a romance slice of life thing going on, but it's pretty good. It's about this girl who's like a game developer, and she made an indie game, and like one of her favorite YouTubers, he made a video about it, and he said it sucked, and so like she ends up having her whole profile and her like game all like blocked on like this website she was using, and so the whole story centers around like her trying to be a game developer and her meeting the YouTuber and them ending up together. I recommend it.
Because that's how life works.
No,
Did you just spoil the
I
ending?
didn't. It's the assumption
Boo.
that's made because
Spoiler.
the picture. It's
It's
cliche
cliche.
Oh.
Okay. I still
Okay.
want to know. I still want to. If I'm gonna read or watch something, I want to know every little detail. And
He wants to know the journey
Well,
and the
To know
and the
the-
You should
destination.
check it out
I
then.
don't-
It's called Let's Play.
It's like life is
God
like a
damn it!
GPS.
That's so,
Hold on, guys.
that's a name is just like it's so obvious, but like I just it's so dumb that I didn't see that one coming.
So, if I might interrupt, like I was saying, life is like a GPS. You know, sometimes you know where you're going, but then it just decides to reroute your location.
Life is like Michael's GPS, where eventually it'll tell you to turn right into a lake, and you just have to turn right into that lake, because you don't always know the journey, but you always know the destination.
Exactly.
Did I do a good wrap up? Anything else you want to add there in the final comments?
Talking to me? Of course you're talking to me.
Yeah. Who else would I be talking to?
Oh, the ghosts in my room. But yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
See, life is like a podcast. You start off with a lot of people, but then people just die off. There you go.
All right. Perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
And we're done. And goodbye.
So yeah.
All right. Hit that recording stop.